Hi and welcome. This video is a quick introduction on how to use EasyCUBE TS. So the first thing you'll want to do is open a project, of course. Simply go on the Open tab, choose a folder, and usually the folder that contains the exportations from 3D utilities is located on the desktop, Easy Project Views, and go and choose and select the project from the list. I've already loaded this project, and as you can see right from this tab, I'm able to share my model directly on Sketchfab. So if I go on Share to Sketchfab, this window pops up. I can insert the name, a description. I can decide if I want to make it private, and this is only if you have a pro user account. I can also decide the summation if I want to. And before you use Sketchfab, of course, you need an account and you need to follow the following steps. So every time you go and claim your token, you'll see these steps that you need to follow in order to get the API token, and afterwards you will be able to upload models directly on Sketchfab. So let's move on and let's see, on the Preferences tab you have the ability to show or hide the textures. Like in this case, I'm going to hide the texture. You can show or hide the 3D model, and you can also decide visualization style. Like in this case, I can see dots and I can increase or decrease their dimension. I can have a wireframe view and I can increase or decrease the thickness. And finally, I can have a shade view and I can use a transparency. I can also add light, or so add more or less light if I want to. And going on the Explorers tab, you actually have the Layer Manager. So the Layer Manager basically reads all the layers that you created from 3D utilities. You have the codes if you need them. You have the area calculation if you need them. So simply go on area and you have the area for every single layer that you can also export on Excel and PDF. And let's suppose you need to hide this gray terrain. I'll simply go on here and I'm going to isolate this central part here. So isolate, and I have my model ready. I can of course change colors. I can switch on or switch off separate layers. For example, if I want to switch off, I can switch off the lake, switch it back on, and so on. So right here I can change the background. I can put a color as a background if I want to. I can put an image as a background, either from your webcam if you have one, or directly from your gallery, like this one. I'm going to apply a photo and I'm going to position my model. After doing this, I can change the optical cone, so the perspective deformation. And let's say I want to save this picture. Simply go and take a photo. Again, you can decide the style in which you want to save it, either cartoon, a simple photo, black and white, a 3D photo, anaglyph, or for 3D TV. In this case, I'll make a simple photo with colors, and I'll go on save if I want to save it on the computer, and on send if I want to send it via email. So every time you click send, you can insert email like this, your message, and go on send. But before you do this, make sure you go on settings only the first time and insert a Gmail account preferably. You can also try with other email providers, but with this settings, Gmail account surely works. So after doing this, go on send, and you can send, of course, images. If you simply want to save it, go on save, and you will find this picture by going on media, which is the last tab actually, and here you have 3 folders: generated books, images, and movies. On the images, you may want to see that the last image is actually the one that we created. So let's go on and take a look at how to create videos inside EasyCUBE TS. So go on shoot. You can choose the movie format. we're going to go back to our white color actually for the background. So here we go with this white color. And the movies actually work with keyframes. So by going on capture, you capture a keyframe. So one keyframe here, one keyframe here. If you go on fixed direction, you can actually draw a path. And if you go on toward 360, you can actually draw something like this. And I'm going to show you. You take focus point, you set a radius, and as you can see, it creates all this series of keyframes. But actually, and afterwards you go and run. But actually, we don't need all these keyframes, so I'm going to delete everything by selecting everything, going on delete. So simply put one keyframe here, one keyframe here, then go on fixed direction and put. So now when I go on start, you can actually see a preview of the video that we're going to make. So once you're happy with your keyframes, you can either export them into an ebook. So by going on book, you can export them into a simple ebook, color black and white, stylized color black and white, or anaglyph 3D. To find the ebooks that you've exported, always go on media, generated books, and you might want to know, like the last one we made is this one. So we use black and white stylized, and we obtain something like this. This could be colored or wherever. In case you don't want to create a book, but you want to save the video, simply go on export video. And again, you choose what kind of video do you want to make, colors, 3D, or stylized. And you click on go. And the program, of course, will elaborate the movie. So go on media, movies, and you'll have your generated movie. I've already had one here that was ready to use. Simple as that. Now, as for the investigations of the model, go on investigates, and what this tab allows you is to do sections. So an example, if we do a vertical section, we insert the first point, we insert the second point, and we set a section plane. So with the section plane set, I am able to move it if I want to. Let's change the step value into 25. So I'm able to move it if I want to. 35 maybe. I can also choose what side to consider. And let's say I want to do an animation of this section plane moving across the model. All I have to do is click on video. Let me first delete the keyframes that I saved before. So go back and investigate. Everything disappeared actually. So as I said, let's suppose you need to create an animation of this section plane moving across the model. You simply use this video command, which memorizes a keyframe. So you start from here, you click video once, then you move your section plane across the model. Maybe you move a bit, and you click video again. Now what this does is create two keyframes. So now when I go on start, you can see the animation. And you can of course export this as a video or as an ebook again. Now back to investigates, you can also measure distances by specifying a first point and the second point. and you see you have the 3D distance, the 2D distance, the elevation difference, and the slope. Or you can calculate the area by going on surfaces, and you have all the areas that you can export either on Excel or in PDF format. And this thing can be done, of course, also with the layer manager, as we've seen before. Now, the last thing, with the speed tab, you can actually decide the speed movement of the mouse. So be it the movement, the zoom, and so on. Lastly, the media tab we've already seen that contains all the media that we created. So this was a really brief introduction to EasyCUBE TS. As you can see, it has powerful tools that allow you to improve your presentation and create animations of your projects easily.